I became pregnant my senior year of high school. The father of my child was from an abusive home. He was a very troubled young man. I thought I was going to fix him. Anyway, being from a small town, my parents were prominent in the community. And in 1975, being pregnant out of wedlock was a disgrace. So there were some big decisions that had to be made. Some friends of my parents offered for me to come and live with them for the duration of my pregnancy in Indianapolis. And I wanted the best for my child, and I knew that I needed God's guidance in that. And as a family, we prayed. I prayed on my own and came to the conclusion that was probably the best thing. But being from a small town, I was lonely, I was afraid, I was ashamed. But during that time, I did prayerfully consider what God wanted me to do. I didn't have a firm decision as to adoption, but yet I did talk to an attorney through my doctor. And when my son was born, I knew that was the decision that God wanted me to make. And I gave him up, and then later, I wish I could say that I had followed God more faithfully, but I didn't. And as you know, there's consequences to not following God's commandments. And I suffered those, and people around me suffered that too. But God blessed me in that decision I made about my son and the adoption. And in 1979, my son Anthony was born. And 2 years later, in 1981, my twin sons, Justin and Neil, were born. And I felt like God was blessing me with 3 sons to ease that hurt that I felt as to giving up one child. And then in 1999, I overheard a conversation about a program in Indiana called the Confidential Intermediary Program. And that is adult birth children and birth parents can be reunited with everyone's consent, which that was important to me. I didn't want to force myself on anyone. And God just allowed that to take place, and within 6 months, I had the information I needed. As soon as he found out about me, we met within 2 weeks, and that was just a real blessing. I've always wanted to help someone emotionally, if not even more concretely, in a situation like that, because I don't believe adoption is the answer to every out-of-wedlock pregnancy, but it was in my situation, and God will guide you in your situation and your circumstances.